felt.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe you could send it to me when you're done. Because you can do that with the voice with the phone. It creates, you save it, and then you can send it. You want to do that?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
So do you want me to start out, or do you want to say it?
I have nothing to say, so you start.
Okay. I was under the impression when we talked about my issues with the lady on the phone, Patricia Evans, that we were moving forward and that I was going to apply the techniques that she told us about so that I wouldn't have happened what happened in the past. And so now I feel like you say years. I have to go through this for more years
Through what?
of you not having an intimate relationship with me like a mother and a son.
Yeah.
And I've also apologized to you, and I said I'm going to be more conscious of it. I didn't say that I'm never going to have it ever happen again, like the other night with the suitcase. I mean, that was an unconscious thing, but when you told me that I had done it, I got it, and I didn't argue with you, and I didn't say anything else for the rest of that conversation.
That's true, Mom.
And so I don't know that you're, when I said you expect me to be perfect, that's an example of it, because that's a very small thing. That's a very small thing in the picture of life.
Okay, but that's not the point. I cannot let you back into my life intimately until you get better than where you currently are. I'm not saying that I'm going to let you back in when you're perfect, but right now you're still not near good enough.
Yeah, but you already put it...
An example is last night, you came into my room after dinner, stood between me and the doorway, and you started to gaslight. You tried to change my memory of what happened the day before with the suitcase. You told me that you caught yourself last night standing in my room. You told me that you caught yourself and started to stop. And that's a total misread. That's totally not what happened the day before. And you're interrupting me. Not okay. And that's called gaslighting. And I know, and that's not okay. And that's why I still don't trust you. That's why I can't have an intimate relationship, because you still do that. And that is definitely one thing you need to get over before I can let you back in. You tried to change my memories of the day before. And I can't trust you. I can't be intimate with a person who does that.
Are you done?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't try to change your memory. My way of thinking is maybe not as accurate as yours. My way of thinking was, when you told me that you can't speak for me, I know consciously aware of it.
That's not what I just said.
But I hear what you're saying. When I recollected it last night, I didn't recollect it in the way that I was thinking accurately. I didn't communicate it to you right, because you're the one that pointed it out to me, not me. When I jumped in and said, oh, you might have 2 suitcases, you said, don't speak for me. Well, I got it.
I know, but my problem is that last night, the night after the suitcase thing, you told me that you had caught yourself.
Well, I did catch myself after you said that.
You did not say that, though. You told
I
me
know, I didn't communicate it right.
But Mom,
the way you said it is the way it happened, Jack. I agree about that.
I know, but...
And I'm not trying to change your mind.
No, but what you did last night was a subtle, backwards attempt at trying to change my mind. Because you told me last night, when you walked into my room, that you had caught yourself on the suitcase thing.
No,
You did say that.
I did.
And I had to correct you last night. I called you out on that lie. And,
okay, that's
and Mom,
fine.
That is an example.
That's fine.
And that's why I cannot trust you, because you still do that, and you have to stop doing that.
Okay, that is not causing me not to trust your opinion about it. I'm not fighting you on that. I'm not fighting you on that.
That wasn't my opinion,
I was trying to protect myself.
From what?
From all of the anger from you. I was trying
Mom, I don't have any anger for you. I have simply cut you off intimately. That's not anger. That's me protecting myself from your gaslighting. A gaslighting you showed me that you're still doing last night. I cut you off.
Well, you cut me off before that happened.
I'm not angry at you.
You cut me off before the gaslighting happened.
No, I cut you off when you started it. I cut you off as soon as you told me that you had caught yourself about the suitcase thing. I cut you off after you did it, and I called you out on it.
Yes, you did. But I'm saying even at dinner, before the gaslighting happened, you cut me off from having an intimate conversation with you, which was simply to answer a question. I didn't even think it was intimate. I thought it was just a matter of a fact.
Mom, I'm not going to talk to you about what classes I'm taking, because I still don't trust you that you're not going to try to gaslight and try to control and manipulate me in school.
Well, I can promise you I'm not going to touch you. Mom, I haven't touched you for a year about school.
I know, but Mom, you do it in subtle ways, backwards ways, like you did last night with trying to change my memory of the day before with the suitcase. That's why I don't trust you. It's not about the specific exact things. It's your whole way of going about it that's not right. And so I don't trust you anymore. And you need to stop gaslighting and stop being emotionally manipulative before I can start letting you back in intimately. And I think that you were upset last night about me not sharing my classes because subconsciously...
It's a rejection.
Subconsciously it prevented you from creating a backwards connection with me. Because I feel like when you know my classes, you start thinking about like what classes Teddy's taking, and you start comparing what classes I tell you I'm taking to what classes you want Teddy to be taking. And I think you were upset because when I didn't share my classes with you, you weren't able to compare them with what you wanted Teddy taking.
Well, I'll explain that.
But no,
go ahead.
That's how I feel, and that's what I felt during all of high school when you were giving me crap about that in high school. Okay, what do you have to say?
Jack, I don't have a perfect son in the back of my head that I'm measuring you up against. I really don't. I just want the best for you. That's how I am as a mother. That's how most mothers are.
I know, Mom.
And so if we see you going off course from what you know your potential is or what, I don't even care. I've said all along, when you switch to business, I was fine with that. I just want you to go see Mrs. Whatever so you can get on track with something else. If you want to change to something else, I would support you in that. I don't care whether you are ROTC or whether you went to the Air Force, but when you said you wanted to do that, I wanted to see you accomplish what you'd set out to do.
The thing is, I don't trust that you're going to be genuinely supportive of my own wishes and desires, because I saw on the car ride home from Tahoe and the car ride after lunch with Linka that you truly are not genuinely supportive and accepting of Natasha's wishes with her school. That conversation after lunch with Linka showed me that you're not accepting and loving of Natasha's decisions and wishes when it comes to her school. Therefore, I still don't trust that you're going to be like that with my school.
Well, I'm sorry, Jack, but I 100% disagree with you about Natasha's schools. You misinterpreted what had happened with that situation. Totally
what I observed in that situation, Mom, was that you were not taking into account how Natasha felt about school and how she felt about that conversation at the time. You weren't looking at any of that. And I observed that. That's what I observed. Because I know for a fact that Natasha was very upset just having that conversation and talking with you about it. She was very stressed. She came to me afterwards and said that she was almost in tears. And I know that you, during that conversation, did not see that, did not respect her wishes, did not understand her feelings. And that's not okay. That's why I do not trust you. Because you still can't do that yet. You can't look at us, see how we're feeling, and try to act appropriately based on how we're feeling. You still cannot do that. And I saw that in the car ride home after Alinka's lunch. And because of that, I did not want to share with you what classes I'm taking this fall. And because of that, I still do not trust you. And because I do not trust you, I cannot have an intimate relationship with you. I did not misinterpret anything. I told you exactly what I observed, not my interpretation of my observation. I observed that. And Natasha will agree with me.
I'm just not a good enough mother for you guys, I guess. Because you don't think I love you. Or care about you.
That's putting words in our mouths, Mom. Do not do that.
That's how I feel, Jack.
I know
when you cut me off like this and say, I cannot have an intimate relationship with you. I have divorced you as a mother. I don't think of myself as your son anymore. Those are extremely rejectful, hurtful things.
Self-victimization, Mom, what you're doing right now.
Now you're calling it that.
That's exactly what you're doing. It's a tactic of a narcissistic and emotionally abusive person. Self-victimization. I'm telling you that what I'm doing is a reaction to how I feel. I'm doing it because I don't want to get hurt anymore by you. And I told you exactly what you've done. And I've showed you how you can stop doing it. And right now, you're just, by victimizing yourself, by telling me how much you feel rejected by me, you're avoiding solving the problem which I showed to you that you do have.
I'm not rejecting you. I'm just saying how I feel. And because you're saying you got hurt by me and and you had to reject me. Well, you're not treating me like a mother who cared about you.
I had to reject you intimately as my mother so that the pain would be less for me, because I genuinely feel rejected by you. And if I see you as just another woman who lives in the house with me, it's easier to accept when you reject my emotions and when you trivialize and belittle my feelings when I express them to you. It hurts less for me to not think of you as my mother.
So you're doing it as a protection?
Yes, I'm doing it to protect myself from your emotional abusiveness and from your gaslighting.
Wasn't hard on you last year. Do you at least admit that?
I wouldn't let you in last year. That's why.
No, there's nothing. And going forward, you have 3 more years of college. You're probably not ever going to come home to live again. So we're going to go through this until you're in your 20s.
Mom, through what? Go through what?
There's not going to be any interaction. When you go off to college, you're going to have the same year that I had this last year with you. No interaction.
Yes. That's very true.
And then the year after and the year after, no interaction.
No, I'm not going to allow myself to intimately interact with you until you can stop gaslighting and at least show me some progress of improving your emotional abusive tendencies. Because you have them seriously bad right now.
And Jack, there will be no opportunity for you to evaluate me because there will be no relationship for the next 2 or 3 years because you're not going to be here.
Mom, you don't need me to be there for you to work on improving yourself. I do not need to be there for you to work on yourself and improve yourself. That is a fact. And right now, you're making it a binary choice. Like, either I'm there with you, living with you, and you can work on yourself, or I'm not there and it's not possible for you to work on yourself. That is not true. It's not binary like that.
Well, Well, you're not going to be able to evaluate it for a long time because there's not any communication.
That's true.
So I
don't see how that's relevant.
guess then you and I are going to be divorced for the next several years until life puts us back in the same place again, where you can evaluate my progress.
Well, we'll never be in the same place again anyway, because I'm becoming an adult and I'm moving out anyway. So it's never going to be the same parent-child relationship with children living in the same house as the parent. That's never going to happen again. And not because of the issues we're having, but because that's how life works. Kids grow up and move out. And I'm moving out. And not only am I moving out because I feel tension and upset with you, I'm moving out because I'm a person growing up, ready to make his own way in life. That's most of the reason that I'm moving out. Not,
well, that I understand.
It's not.
But what I don't understand is that we have no. I mean, essentially, you're divorcing me, and you're moving away, and there's not going to be any communication.
That's exactly what I said, Mom. Yes. And I cannot.
So that's a huge rejection.
Mom.
I don't think that.
It's because I feel rejected by you. Okay? And it's right now this entire conversation. No. It's exactly what I feel. It's not my definition. I feel rejected by you. And when you tell me that that's just my definition, that's gaslighting. That's trying to tell me that what I feel isn't true.
You feel hurt by me, Jack. It's not rejection. Hurt.
No.
Hurt is different than rejection.
No, but I know the difference between feeling hurt and feeling rejected. And I feel rejected by you every single time that you belittle and trivialize my feelings. And right now, you're doing it by telling me that I should call it hurt instead of calling it rejection. You're telling me to tell you. You're telling me to call my feelings something other than they are. That is belittling of my feelings.
Well, what does rejection mean?
I explained it to you. I feel rejected by you.
But tell me, what is your definition of rejection?
I feel, no.
Like abandon?
I feel like you do not care about my feelings. I feel like you think of yourself as more important than me. I feel like you think that your feelings and your desires are more important than my feelings and my desires. I feel like you believe that. And the reason I feel like you believe that is because in the past, every single time that I've come to you and told you how I feel, every time that I've come to you and said, hey Mom, you made me feel really bad the other day. Every time I've come to you like that, your response is along the lines of, Jack, that's not what you feel. Jack, don't call it that. That's not what it really was. It wasn't, never did you accept, okay, I'm sorry you feel that way. You never truly accepted how I felt because you would always divert the conversation onto something else, or try to tell me that that's not what I'm feeling, or try to victimize yourself and tell me that I'm wrong for feeling that, and that it hurts you when I feel that. And that is rejecting. That tells me, it makes me feel like you do not care about my feelings and my desires and my intentions when you do that.
Well, I guess then we have to say goodbye to each other because there's not much hope.
It's not binary, Mom. Don't do that. Okay? I will accept you more intimately as a part of my life after you make some progress in improving yourself.
It's going to be pretty hard to do.
Many times in this conversation, Mom, many times in this conversation alone, you've tried to gaslight me. And that's exactly why I still can't let you in intimately. You tried to change my feelings from rejection of you to hate of you, which is not true. I do not hate you.
I didn't say the word hate.
Whatever it was.
I don't think you hate me. I don't think that.
What word did you want me to use?
I said hurt.
Okay. I apologize.
I said you hurt me.
But you tried to gaslight and change my memory and my emotion of you from rejection into hurt. And that is not okay.
I am sorry that you feel rejected by me because, Jack, the honest truth is, with all of my heart, the honest truth is, I did not ever want to reject you. That has never been my intention. I've wanted to parent you, to guide you, to tell you my values, my feelings.
But Mom.
And we were at conflict because what I thought was appropriate for a senior in high school wasn't your idea of what is appropriate. You wanted to just do life the way you wanted, I guess. I don't know why you chose to shut down and not do well in school after you had done well all the other years and you have the ability to do well. I don't know why that happened.
Mom, right now, I never said that you rejected me. That's what you just said now. I said, and what I'm saying is that I feel rejected by you.
Well, you can feel rejected.
But you cannot fight my feelings. My feelings are my own personal, individual self. I feel what I feel, and you cannot change that. In this whole conversation, you're trying to change that, I feel like.
No, I'm trying to be understood.
And I understand how you feel. You're upset that I have divorced you as a mother. And it appears like you haven't accepted my reasoning for why I have divorced you. And I've explained it many times now. A few times in this car ride.
Yeah, you
and
have,
at least
Jack.
4 times.
I was trying to get you to understand it from my point of view because I don't think I deserve
I feel
this.
like you were trying to gaslight me into changing how I feel during this conversation.
No, the only thing I have left to do is just live with whatever you've decided to do with me.
No, the only thing left you can do now is start working on improving yourself. And start working on changing yourself to stop being emotionally abusive. That's the only thing you can do now.
Okay, 10 years from now, you can let me know how I'm doing. In some mysterious way, because there's going to be no communication for you to even know how I've improved. There's no way for you to evaluate how I am going to improve over the next 10 years.
Mom, there is plenty of way. When we have conversations, and we will in the future, if you try to gaslight, then I'll know you haven't made much change. That's how I'll know. That is the metric.
So how often are you going to talk to me?
It'll happen every once in a while. Don't worry, it's going to happen.
Will you call me?
No, probably not. And
so it's all up to me to keep making the gestures. Am I ready yet? Am I good enough yet? Have I improved enough yet? That's how it feels, Jack. It's like I have to grovel and
Mom,
and ask for more than forgiveness. I have to ask for total acceptance and a total reformation of who I am.
Mom, the reason I still can't allow you back intimately into my life is because I still feel like you haven't accepted the way I feel. Because I'm telling you, I've told you a few times now, I feel rejected by you, and I haven't, still during this conversation, I haven't...
Sorry that
Interruption. No, don't interrupt. And I feel like just during this conversation, after the times that I've told you how I feel rejected, you still haven't genuinely accepted the way I feel. We're going to go a little bit longer. It's going to be Davis Avenue. And just during this conversation, I still haven't really heard you accept that I feel rejected by you. It's every time I say during this conversation alone that I feel rejected by you, you either appear to have victimized yourself or have tried to tell me to change it from rejection to hurt.
Okay, let me clarify it.
The act of victimizing yourself and the act of telling me to switch my words to hurt show me that you're not accepting the way I feel, which is rejected.
Well, I am sorry you feel rejected, Jack. Maybe it's from other things as well. I don't know. I certainly... Any mother that tries to parent a child and guide them and then meets a head wall with their person for whatever reason. Some kids do drugs. Parents don't like when their kids do drugs. They don't like when they do shoplifting or when they become anorexic. They don't like any of those things. And when you hit a conflict with a child, it's not that you're trying to reject them as a person, you're trying to help them.
But Mom, the thing is, I never did anything like this. I never did drugs. I never was anorexic. I never did anything like that. And I don't know why you brought any of that up. I feel like that's changing the topic. Right here, David Street, that's where we want to get on.
No, Jack. The reason Mom, you and I hit the wall last year...
Let me ask you a question. Why did you bring up that stuff just now about other kids going off and doing drugs and becoming anorexics and their parents having problems with them? Are you trying to compare us, that our relationship is like that? That I'm going off and doing these things?
No.
And that, okay, then why did you bring it up?
Because why did you and I hit the wall 2 years ago? What's your reasoning for thinking that?
Because 2 years ago, you stopped accepting my feelings. I started to feel rejected by you 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago, it started becoming very serious and very common that when I tell you how I feel, that every time I brought up to you that I felt hurt by you, you would belittle and trivialize my feelings. That started 2 years ago. That's when the feelings of rejection started.
And what were we arguing about?
You were just...
Do I go right?
Turn right, yeah. You were not accepting of my desires and my wishes in the same way. We're going to go left here.
What were your desires and wishes that we weren't accepting of? That's what I want to get to the bottom of.
Mom, that specifically doesn't matter. But the way you started treating me those 2 years ago was the same way that you were treating Natasha in the car ride home after lunch with Alinka. That you weren't empathetic, that you weren't listening to how Natasha was feeling during it, that you didn't care you didn't just accept the way she felt and let it go. Because that's how you were in the car ride home from Natasha with Alinka in Tahoe this summer. That's how you started being with me 2 years ago. And I was self-aware enough, and I respected and honored my own personality strong enough to realize that what you were doing wasn't okay. And this whole conversation, you still haven't accepted the way I feel, and every time you bring up something new, I feel like it's you trying to fight that. But to improve yourself, to start changing your emotional abusiveness, you have to first accept the way I feel. You have to accept that I feel rejected. Can you say these words to me, Jack? I'm sorry you feel rejected by me. You haven't said anything like that.
Okay, I will say it. Jack, I am really sorry that you feel rejected by me.
Now, thank you for saying that out loud. And that's a good first step. But I need to hear it to be more genuine. Because you said it because I told you to. And I don't think you would have ever said it if I hadn't have told you to say that. Because you had 10 opportunities in this car ride alone to say that, and you didn't. Because that would truly be accepting of my feelings, to say that sentence. And to start improving yourself, you gotta first accept the way you've made me feel.
Well, I am sorry about that. And I am sorry I hurt Natasha's feelings. I just didn't that was a whole different situation, Jack.
No, Mom,
we're going through.
No. That type of emotional abusiveness and gaslighting that you did to Natasha in the car ride home from Tahoe is exactly the same problem I have with you. It's exactly the same thing. They're not separate. And trying to say that they're different right now is gaslighting. It's trying to change my memory of what our problem is. Go straight. It's by the red steps over here.
So this is the roof?
Yep. Do you understand? I think you should do some research about what gaslighting is, because right now you did it. By trying to tell me that your problems with Natasha and your problems with me are two separate things, that's gaslighting. Because I've told you many times, a minute ago I told you that they were the same thing. That 2 years ago, what you started doing was what you did to Natasha in the car ride home from Alinka's. And right now you just try to tell me that they're two different things, even though I just told you right now that they're the same thing. That's directly going against what I just said.
Okay, I'll think about
That's directly trying to change my memory of what I just said a minute ago. You can stop the staircases right there.
Jack, there's a Ross right here. If there's anything you want at Ross, I have a $50 to use up.
Oh, no, I'm fine. Thanks. Okay, thanks for driving me to work.
Maybe, Jack, what I need to do is go get some personal counseling.
Exactly. I think you should take this recording and show it to them.
Okay.
Okay.
That would be fine.
Thank you.
Send it to me.